Welcome to Cinema Discussions. My name is John. I am here with Chris, and I am here with our senior comic book correspondent, Vaughan.
Yeah.
And today we are discussing Nine Lives, the 2016 English language French comedy film directed by Barry Sonnenfeld.
French?
This is what Wikipedia says. Who's editing this? I think the thing is, I think that on Wikipedia, because anyone can edit it, the stuff that's more popular gets corrected really fast, and the stuff that isn't popular, or it's like Nine Lives, people just write whatever they want. French comedy. I don't know.
It was written by Francois Truffaut.
It is from Europa Corp.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I've never heard of them.
Well, exactly. We'll
Probably
get
because they're French.
We'll get into that, but
Did French Superman.
we don't want to spoil Nine Lives for anyone. So before we get into that,
You mean
let's
Two
give
Lives?
Let's give a recommendation.
God help us.
Recommendation for the film for people who haven't seen it. Vaughn, how would you recommend this movie?
How would I recommend this? If you are in the age range of like 0 to 15, and you really can't think of anything better to watch, then sure, go right ahead.
No, still don't do it. I don't give this a 0 stars because I say
We're not rating it
I
yet.
know, but I'm just saying this is at that point where it's like so bad that it's not even so bad it's good. It's just so bad.
Yeah, it's not The Room.
Yeah.
So how would you no? So no? It's just a recommendation?
Is that a no? Do you think MST3K will be covering this?
I hope they do.
They have to.
Yeah.
I hope they do
I
too.
would love it.
Usually, it's generally a rule not to do comedies for those kind of things because
But it's a
this
fantasy.
is-
They
yeah.
can do fantasy.
Yeah.
I haven't, look, if you
had
if you got kids and they've seen everything else in the theaters, I think you could do worse than this one.
I think the best part were the trailers before Nine Lives.
Yeah.
I think I skipped those. I was
Oh, there were some good ones.
watching right before it. But I'd say to look, if this last weekend, the only movies that released were Suicide Squad and Nine Lives, and
Go play
if
Pokemon
you're
Go.
only going to
Just-
see one of these movies.
Just keep playing Pokemon Go.
I don't know. I think you might want to see Nine Lives. But let's get into this now.
I think-
Spoiler alert for
Spoilers.
Nine Lives. We're going to
Like,
ruin this movie. And for those of you who never want to see Nine Lives, welcome to everything you need to know about Nine Lives.
Yes. So
we're going to save you $15 and about an hour and a half.
yeah, the funniest part, according to the audience, which was primarily just these families, it's like the mothers and their daughters, because the fathers and sons were too busy doing useful things. They were all laughing at the first 5 minutes showing the cat videos, which were not written by the screenplay. Or,
Oh yeah, they were straight from YouTube.
So there are things that were pretty funny.
Yeah.
I didn't care about any of those cat videos at the beginning. Now, I'm going to say the trailer for this
didn't laugh,
is
though.
horrible.
Yeah.
My main fault with the trailer is when the cat's doing the pull-ups. It's like, must show that I'm human. That's not in the film. It looks terribly done, like repeated.
It is really bad, like forward, reverse.
And
CGI.
I was worried that was in the movie, so that wasn't in the film already. So, all right, so Kevin Spacey is in the film. Kevin Smith would have made this film amazing. Stoner cat.
Oh jeez.
So
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey's in about 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. And then he's like, does his work from home.
Yeah.
It's like the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes.
Oh my god, you know what this is like? This is like a talking cat, but no one understands it. Have you ever heard of a talking cat? So it's Eric Roberts does the voice of a cat, and that's all he does.
Do you know how much? There's so many of these body switch animal
But
movies.
it's not even a body switch. It's just a Z-level movie. It's up there with The Room, Neil Breen. But this is not, because this is like an honest effort.
I think you're right. So, all right. So, a couple of things that are odd about this. The first thing that was weird is that Kevin Spacey's in it. The next thing that was weird for me is that Barry Sonnenfeld directed this.
I kind of wasn't surprised.
Get Shorty, Addams Family, Men in Black. Like,
Really?
yes. Now he's not only done great films, but he's done other films too. But like,
Wow.
Honestly, the beginning felt like Spy Kids with that really crappy CGI, just like zooming.
Kind of, yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
But so you've got the character of the father, Kevin Spacey as the father, who doesn't make time for his family, and is too focused on business.
Kevin Spacey is a stapler.
But you've got a couple twists in it that aren't that I haven't seen as standard before in these kind of films, where you've got his ex-wife, his son from a previous marriage.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So I like that aspect and the way that the son's trying to get ahead in the business and also be a part of it.
I was worried the son was going to be like Kevin Spacey when he grows up, and there's going to be some overarching message like, "Don't grow up to be like me, son. Join the circus," because that's my Kevin Spacey impersonation.
I mean, yeah, I think the son knew enough not to be completely focused on it. He had the one scene where he's doing the business and his stepsister comes in and saying, you're going to be just like dad now and only working. And that was really the most that you got from that one.
But I'm happy it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
So that's one thing it did right.
Yeah.
But you've got Kevin Spacey becoming a cat. And then you do the cat doing cat stuff and
all the cat puns.
Doing cat stuff badly.
Okay. Yeah, the CGI cat.
The best way to describe it, I put it on my Facebook, but it was the longest groan of my life. That's what the whole movie. I was just like covering my face.
Okay, so first 20 minutes, I think, or the first beginning part with the cat, I really didn't like, but. I don't know. As it went further into it, as I'm sitting there, like I'm just going in with an open mind for the whole film and trying to enjoy it. Yeah, I'm not going there looking to hate the film and looking for what's terrible at it.
You're a gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah. So I started enjoying parts of it and liking the story that it's telling, and as the company's being taken over and.
Like almost a hostile takeover from within.
Yeah, and you've got the family trying to, or at least the son trying to stop that.
The son and father working at the business factory that does business.
But they're a large company that
trying to build the largest company, literally.
Well, owning a building that then they seem to do a lot of real estate because they own multiple buildings in there. They own the building that they live in as well as
they want to build the largest skyscraper
because they want to have other people own office space in there, so they rent it out. So that's the thing. So if you've got the largest one, like people want to be in the tallest building. It's a thing. So
it was like a penis joke the whole time I was watching it. They even said like, "Yours is bigger." Oh, that sounds like a motto. Because yours is bigger is the motto of like Del Taco. Welcome to Del Taco. Yours is bigger.
So the then I also liked another plotline that they've got there. Just the small thing when his wife is meeting that other guy, and
you think it's an affair.
Yeah, and. That would have been really interesting if they had her having an affair.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd give it more credit.
It'd be very odd and not a children's movie at that point.
I just realized
super crazy because they're like then he's they break the marriage up after he gets back into his body. But I like that as he realized that she is good even though she was thinking of leaving him but not having an affair, just wanting to leave him.
Yeah,
it's called 9 Lives.
Yes.
And
because cats have 9 lives is the story, and
he has 2 lives. That's what Christopher Walken says before he does voodoo.
2 lives would have been a bad title for the movie. They had to think of some title for the movie, and it could have been Perfect Day. It could have been Hairy Situation. It could have been
Cat Call.
Take Pause.
Catastrophe.
Yeah, Catastrophe would have been good too.
The Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah. How to cut seed in business.
Without even trying. How to make a movie without even trying.
9 Lives tells you that it's about a cat.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, and they make it even obvious in the poster by having the little red scratch mark. It's like, me.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
What's up with that?
Okay.
We should replace the photo with a hamburger, and it still says Kevin Spacey, me. I am a hamburger.
So I do have one positive thing to say.
Okay.
I am a Christopher Walken fan.
Yeah.
So while he wasn't at his most Walkenist in this movie, it was pretty good.
He was decent. He was better than I thought he was going to be in the film.
Yeah,
I did like his part.
I still even liked Kevin Spacey when he was Kevin Spacey in it.
Yeah.
And even the few of the cat things as the character, I thought it was decent. And I liked the way that he was bonding with his daughter and standing up for her from that horrible...
that awful redheaded stepchild.
Yeah.
Although she was blonde, but I wanted to say redheaded stepchild.
Yeah. She was not great, and I especially didn't like Cheryl Hines' character.
I thought it was a very unresolved point where she's just being a total bitch to the new daughter.
It just ends with...
And she doesn't get any comeuppance.
She gets her phone tossed in the toilet.
Like so.
But she didn't
no, I can't. I have to kill myself
She
now.
didn't do that crazy of things to her. She was just not a nice person.
She was gonna bully her pretty
she
bad.
got pointed out for being not a nice person.
I mean,
right there. So
think of what she was doing before.
I think it's not as much about a revenge plot as it is
A rape revenge movie called 9 Lives.
That would have been good.
It's great too. Look, those have been great movies for adults, but remember, this is a movie made for kids.
Well, tell them to grow up.
Little kids like to see that the person who's basically being a bully gets a slap in the face at some point.
But I
And
think
then falls to their death.
I think it's nice that you don't have some horrible thing happening to that person because it's showing you that nothing. You're not giving the lesson of that bad people have bad things happen to them.
So I keep remembering things. I'm like, okay, so those security guards at the end were total dicks.
Yes, they were horrible.
They were about to taser a cat for no
fun,
reason.
and then
for YouTube. They were going to do it for YouTube.
But
even worse.
That's what the depression of the maniacs of Ukraine. There's these serial killers that would film their murders. They just would kill animals for fun.
Yes.
That's what these guys were essentially. Just trying to make a snuff film with a cat.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jeez. But they specifically saw that it was the same cat from YouTube, from the one that they were watching, and
they were gonna.
Hey, you know what we could do?
That's like if you go to Disneyland. It's the same Goofy I saw from the cartoons.
Well,
I'm gonna punch it in the dick.
Yeah. That would be famous on YouTube. They were.
Oh my
They
God.
were terrible. I'm gonna say my favorite part of the film. Well, I don't know. This is just the part that got to me the most. As the son is Robbie Amell's jumping off the building.
At the end.
Yeah, and Kevin Spacey goes up to say, pull the ripcord. Which was interesting because he had the shoot. So was he already planning on pulling the ripcord?
Yeah.
It seems like he was. So the cat really didn't need to kill himself there.
Also, that really shitty line when Kevin Spacey wakes up. Meow. Yeah.
Yes. No, but as the cat is falling to its death, I did tear up as the cat was falling to his death.
Yeah. Oh my God, they're actually gonna have the cat die. Wow, what a shitty movie.
Well, it's the thing of me of just
Tyria, I'm so sorry that you
thinking about my own
standards,
my own cat in the past, and I felt that connection of seeing the cat die, and I started to tear up.
Did you also cry when Mel Gibson got a paper cut in The Patriot?
No, because that was dumb. He wasn't a cat. I care about cats.
Nobody cares about Mel Gibson.
I think this should get nominated in the Academy Awards for Best Sound Mixing for the.
Is that the Academy Awards?
Yeah.
The fake cats that was here. No, but I'm saying, okay, look.
Speaking of which, the cat voices were so horribly overused in every scene.
What's that, Kevin Spacey? Billy's in the well?
The fake cat noises.
Yeah, all the fake cat voices were so horribly overused.
They should have been actually mixed cat sounds. But
it's like Garfield this whole movie.
Man,
I wish he liked lasagna.
But I'm saying that this film, it had that emotional point for me in the movie.
For you.
And and for me. So you guys did get that, but that's fine. And it's for a film to be able to have that in there, can't be terrible because it means that it actually got me into the plot and to enjoy the characters.
Can you say that about Suicide Squad?
No.
Wow.
I can't say that about Suicide.
I'm surprised.
I didn't get in. I didn't care for those characters, and there wasn't a moment where I felt like distress for any of the characters or remorse, like wanting any of them. Is there pseudo dying?
Feeling any kind of tension that something bad might happen to them.
I didn't feel that at all. But in this one, even though
there's like a character arc here, and
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
it was completely there, and it was a clear-cut narrative in this film.
Yeah.
Lessons to be learned. Characters change and grow in this movie. Like it was refreshing to see a plot that was this clear, this straightforward, and having character arcs and growth in a movie. And so while it's this silly premise of being
And
turned into a
predictable.
cat, it's silly and predictable. Of course, it follows the formula, but in seeing so many films that just
Like don't, or they forget to.
there's either films that try to be super original and not formulaic and unpredictable, in which case they it's hit or miss. They can go on weird tangents because if you're not going predictable, then it's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Or just
you could be
forgetting, like ignoring, as you're saying, ignoring the this basic plot structure and the established stories that are out there. That kind of there are only so many stories in there, and it says something when you just do a film and say, saying when you're doing it for kids, you don't worry about trying to be original with that. You go for tried and true stories
Based on a
that
true
played out
story,
there.
9 Lives.
And so these films are made so many times before, the Shaggy Dog and the thing. And like these
The
are
Shaggy
these
Cat.
are films that are done throughout time. They always keep getting remade, and as the technology improves. So instead of just having a horse with peanut butter on its mouth or shocking the horse to make it talk, like they're using CGI, and at this point the CGI is decent.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
What if it was a body switch comedy where Kevin Spacey is the cat, but then Kevin Spacey isn't in the coma, but the cat's in his body?
Well,
so
that's
he's like
they established that early
shitting
on.
everywhere.
He said-
I know,
Kevin
it's
Cat. Yeah.
He says at the beginning,
Just imagining that.
when he's in the cat's body, he says, after he gets drunk, he says, if I'm in the cat's body, is the cat in my body?
Tom, how you doing?
But maybe the cat is in his body. He's just catatonic.
He's still catatonic.
Taking a cat nap.
Yeah.
So, in the other, since you mentioned technology a second ago,
Yeah.
how terrible would you rate the quality of the green screen and CGI in this movie?
Noticeable.
Look.
It's starting right from the beginning with Kevin Spacey on the little plane about to jump out and then land on the top of his building.
Vaughn, I just say, just take a break and look behind you at this nice window we have at
no.
the skyscraper we're in.
It's not a skyscraper. It's a film reel, and everyone can see it.
Yeah, you mean that film reel, right?
Film reel right there. Yes.
I was hoping you'd edit in a skyscraper for this one specifically.
How could I edit in
I
front
don't
of?
know.
I'd have to pull in some sort of screen in front of this film reel that we have behind us.
It's a film reel.
I've already pasted on that picture onto every one of the
I mean,
films.
like,
It's
we-
a lot
we've
of
told
work
you this
to
before.
paint this thing through us. I'm not going to put in that much work. Okay, so comparing
and
it to
then-
films like Warcraft, as far as CGI goes, look, it's on par with Warcraft. It's
realistic.
It's on par with Men in Black and other Barry Sonnenfeld films. The style in which he does things. This was the one of the least stylistic Sonnenfeld films that I've seen.
Oh yeah.
I was expecting more of that in the kind of pseudo cartoony world, the way it does it. So he did this much more realistic. And even the way the cat was talking he's already done Talking Dog in Men in Black.
Oh, they meant Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, but that was a real dog.
Yeah, it was a real dog, and then you CGI his mouth on top of him.
Yeah.
And they had a real cat at times in this film.
Yeah.
If they weren't smashing it
It's
around.
also, when they weren't smashing it against
way it was
a wall
flopping in
trying to
different
open the
ways.
liquor cabinet.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tase it.
Yeah.
I just want to see those.
Yeah, but switching from real cat to fully CGI cat, you can tell
Uncanny Valley.
every moment it happens.
Yes, you can absolutely tell. But I think that it's getting better. I think it would have been better if they had used more puppet stuff and mixed in with the kind of Jurassic Park-esque thing.
Yeah.
And
Done the
also
Full House thing.
working on the physics of the cat, because they've got the ragdoll physics there, but the way a cat moves and when it falls and does these things, like they could have it done they've done a little more work on that to make it more believable. Instead of the way that it's folding in certain ways and lounging and it just doesn't. It's not there. It loses that skeletal shape.
Yeah, it looked more like Gary's Mod than a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the skeleton structure that they really need to keep up, and the way the musculature moves.
Yeah.
Aside from it's kind of like when they're tossing it around, it becomes this just plush toy.
I'm just curious. What's the budget of this?
Enough. 30 million.
Okay.
But look, it's already made 7.1 million. And it could
I'm
it made
surprised.
$7 million
Opening weekend.
so far.
That's
it is
kinda shocking.
Are you sure you're reading that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I can see
that's
it.
not 71, that is
7.1.
71.
$7.1 million
Okay.
on a budget of $30 million opening weekend, and it only opened against one other film. It opened against
Wow.
Suicide Squad. So if you're taking family to go see movies, you can either take them to this or something that's been out for a couple weeks. Like Ice Age, which I also saw and is horrible. I like this better than Ice Age, I'll tell you that.
Well, somehow that was enough money to apparently blackmail Kevin Spacey into doing this job.
That's
Yeah, 30 million was enough to blackmail him. I'm surprised that they got anyone else to do it for free.
Yeah.
But
That's a really modest budget. I can appreciate that.
Jennifer Garner, I can understand her
weirdly
doing
low
this
budget.
because Jennifer Garner just recently did one of those Christian film.
That's right.
Yeah. So she'll do more things. She's not really as A-list as she once was.
Yeah.
And Christopher Walken for a small part.
He'll do whatever he wants. He doesn't give a shit anymore.
It's like Bill Murray.
So Kevin Spacey is just, I don't know. Having the money, they said you only have to shoot for an hour, and we'll do all the rest
it's probably like an hour in person and then 3 days of voiceover.
Yeah, that was my theory.
Look, you get all your scripting worked out beforehand, and just have him sit down and do it in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think he can knock that out really quickly. One take.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's not spend too much time, and then it's
One shot Spacey.
They really couldn't even get the CGI cat to match his emotions or like.
No.
not really. No.
No.
But I'm just saying, like, they did a lot of interesting things with it. It was, it's a not a new take, but it's a new version of this same old story. And when you have new kids growing up in different generations seeing that, if you want them to be watching some movie like The Shaggy Dog, any of those people becoming into the Body of Animals movies that, I see when I grow up, and like it's something to play on Disney Channel or any of those things when they need to fill in a movie that is appropriate for families, is good for that. And
If I wanted men in the body of animals, I just watch sensual porn.
that's not for kids. I'm saying this works. I'm saying it's a good version for what it is. It for what it sets out to do. I think this film did it well.
I'm looking at the reviews of them. Someone gave it a B+, or is
Yeah.
that...
Well, I was mostly interested that this film was made by Europa Corp and not seeing any other production company on top of that. Like, no one else wanted to put their name on it. They didn't get a distribution deal from
clearly.
like Universal or Fox
Luc
or Paramount. Anyone like. It's odd to see a film like this, especially with Kevin Spacey in it and Barry Sonnenfeld behind it. Like, you don't have a studio that wants to put this out. Like, sure, it looks terrible, but just
Looking at this right now, from the people that made Taken and The Transporter, 9 lives.
yeah. Europa was behind the Taken trilogy and Transporter series. So
Really?
yeah. Also, Nikita, Leon, The Fifth Element.
What the hell?
No, this has to be something else.
Wait, that can't be right.
Oh wait, yeah. Luc Besson is from Europa Corp.
Yeah.
So he's one of the people behind this. And Luc Besson did Taken and Leon and all those. So,
Man, how did any of this make sense?
Well, because that was the early beginnings of the company. So then
how the mighty have
changed
fallen.
hands, 97. 2007, it was managed by the IPO on Euronext Paris. Then the CSA French Authority for Media Regulation selected Europa Corp TV project, something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So basically no reason for them to make this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just, I think studio changes hands, but it's just odd I don't know why this movie was made. It probably shouldn't have been made, but I didn't hate
It's
it.
a guilty pleasure.
No,
guess.
I don't think it was a pleasure, but I didn't hate this movie. I think it had solid stuff in it, and it's a cat, you know.
Yeah.
For the cat.
I mean, I suppose the other main problem I had with the plot is that with Kevin Spacey being this multi-billionaire head of a company, who first was married, got divorced, gets married again.
Yeah.
I can see that the first wife would get disenchanted with a lot of it because she's probably there for the first 30 years of him building up this company from nothing.
Yes.
And so she would probably sort of justifiably get mad that he's gone all the time.
Yeah.
But cut to Jennifer Garner. She's coming in after the fact. She would have reason to know
And I think
that he's going to be busy all the damn time.
Yes, but I think she is very forgiving of that and has been with him for a while.
Well, she should if he's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah, no, she's very understanding, and she doesn't seem to take the money for granted the way that his ex-wife does.
Yeah.
But
considering that apartment they live in, which is probably in Manhattan, at least an $8 million apartment.
Right, she's not. That's why, like, she's not cheating on him.
Yeah.
She's just looking to leave him because there's nothing there, and she thought that she could do it. She thought she could be with him, but when he's just ignoring the family.
Well, then don't marry him in the first place.
But
I know. Spacey has...
In hindsight, of course, but she thought that, oh, sure, you're busy all the time, but that'd be fine. I think it was as she grew with the family, like when they were just married and without children.
Don't you watch Ingmar Bergman, man? This is typical Ingmar Bergman.
Then it's more fun because the times that they can spend together, like that's the amount of time they have. Now it's raising a child and also that, and seeing that he's not there for the child. That's when she's looking at moving away.
Ingmar Bergman.
I mean, Kevin Spacey is also kind of suffering from Elon Musk syndrome because, like, Elon Musk, he made a lot of his money as a single man. Then he gets married to this one woman. Mm-hmm. They got divorced a while ago, and now they're getting back together again. He's got like this weird reason, weird need to be married to somebody. Well, Kevin Spacey could have avoided everything in this movie by being single.
Yeah. No, but he could actually love someone and want to have a connection with someone. It's just that on his schedule, he has, at any time that he's not working, he wants to be able to spend with the person that he loves. And he does spend that time at home that he's not working. He just spends most of his time working because he understands he wants to have the successful business and build it up as strong as possible. Mm-hmm. So that's his main love is his business and his success from that. Mm-hmm. But it's not to say that he doesn't, dislike being married and having a spouse. It's not that he wants to have a spouse. It's that he wants to be with this person. And that's what it is in there. So, there's reason for that. Now, looking at it from an outsider thing and in a cold sort of way and not looking at the relationship thing, yes, it's better to be single if you want to have a successful
just be
business.
Tony Stark.
Yeah, that works. But Tony Stark
they eventually just cut Pepper out of the picture, so whatever.
But he loves her, so it still works.
Like, whatever.
You are forgetting that part of the equation, the love part of the equation, the fifth element, if you will. All right. So what do you rate? What do you rate this movie?
I don't know. It's an eyesore. It might give you cataracts.
So you're rating this a 9 out of 9 lives?
Yeah, 9 out of 9 lives. I gave it probably half a star out of 5.
Half a star. Okay.
1.5.
I give this one 3, and
oh my god.
Yeah, not even flopping on the 3. This is 3 stars. This was enjoyable, and it made me cry at the end. And
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's really rough at the beginning, but I think if you're Sid through it, it works out, and it does. It has structured plot and character development. It has all the things
like
there.
One of the weakest films that has ever made you cry?
Yes, probably. Yeah,
geez.
This is probably the lowest level of any of those. Like. Because it's usually like 5-star Pixar movies for me that does it, but
yeah,
or Ingmar Bergman.
But this is one. Well, that's just Ingmar Bergman's life.
Yeah, Dan, the life of Lars von Trier.
Yeah. But like, you don't get that. I don't get that from The Room or any of those like
I do
MST3K movies that they do. I don't even get it from Ed Wood movies, and I love Ed Wood movies. They just don't. You don't have that stuff built up. You don't.
This isn't Z level though. I was actually thinking about that when I was watching it. I said, this isn't Z level. It's not B level. This is actually A level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is an A level movie.
But
Just not.
An A- levels probably.
I'd say definitely not a, like thought out film for adults, but I think it's not a terrible kids film, and it's not the kind of kids film that just panders to kids too. Like
Oogie loves.
yeah, it's not just like dumb nonsense things. This is a smart film for kids. It's got things in there and interpersonal relationships that are meaningful in it. So I think it has a lot going for it. But yeah, definitely not a film that anyone needs to see. But if you're going to see the movie, if this movie's on TV and you've got kids there to watch it, it's not terrible. It's a decent film.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you hate it all you want. I say I liked it better than Suicide Squad. That's just all I'm saying.
Sounds like a catch-22. I'm trying.
Are you feeling good about that one?
Yeah.
All right. We got lots of big movies coming out soon, so we'll have a lot more. Sausage Party?
good.
It's got to be Sausage Party.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Sausage Party.
Come on.
Or something.
So we'll see you later with all of those. If you want to write to us, if you have suggestions for movies that are coming out that you are looking forward to, write to us, MagicApeTV@gmail.com, or find us on Facebook, Magic Ape TV, all that stuff. See you later.
Bye.